This is for the lesson from day 8 and a cooldown called a rectangular relationship. The name of the lesson is Which Variable to Solve For, Part 1. A couple of key concepts before we get going. A relationship between quantities can be described in more than one way. Some ways are more helpful than others. So if we take a look at this triangle over here, we've got two angles that are the same measure. So the sum of angles in a triangle is 180. I don't know why that's not in there. So the relationship between the angles can be expressed as A plus B equals 180. Now, we can also do some simplifying. An A and another A altogether is two A's. And let's say that B was 20. Let's say this was a 20-degree angle there. What we could do then is we could actually figure out what A is equal to. Because we have two A's, and then replace 20 for the B, and we get 180. Subtract 20 from both sides, which is a move that we can make, and we get 2A equals 160, and then we can divide by 2. Now, we can substitute in any values that we want in any of the places that we want. Now let's say we didn't have a specific B value, but we wanted to know what A was easily if we knew what B was. What we could do is we could take the same steps that we were doing over here. Over here we took away 20 from both sides, and then we divided both sides by 2. Just like that, once we simplify and we get 2A plus B, we can actually take B away from both sides. And that cancels out that B, and we get 2A equals 180 minus B. Well, then, to figure out what A is, I can divide both sides by 2, and I get A equals 180 minus B over 2. So we don't have to go through those same steps over and over and over again. I actually skipped all 4 of these because it takes so long, and I don't want these videos to be super long. So instead of doing that, we can just solve for this. So anytime I know what B is, I just got to plug that in, subtract it from 180, and then divide by 2. And that's how I can figure out A. So all 3 of these equations are what we would call, well, and even this one and this one. These are all equivalent equations. Depending on what information we have and what we're interested in, we can use a particular equation to use. So let's take a look at this. The perimeter of a rectangle is 48 centimeters. The relationship between the length, the width, and the perimeter of the rectangle can be described with the equation 2 times length plus 2 times width equals 48, or 2L plus 2W equals 48. Find the length in centimeters if the width is 10 centimeters. So, if the width was 10 centimeters, what we can do is we could take our equation, 2L plus 2 times 10 equals 48, and 2L plus 20 equals 48, and this is a classic two-step equation because you subtract 20 from both sides, you get 2L equals 28, and then your second step you divide by 2 and you get L equals 14. So that was good. Now the question is, what would the length be if the width was 3.6 centimeters? And then the last one is W centimeters. This one might be a little bit confusing, but this is just like if we go back here and we said, well, I wanted to solve this equation right here for A. If B was just B. We're able to do all the same moves, all the same steps with our variable to isolate the variable we're interested in. So you're going to do the exact same thing with this equation here. You're going to rewrite this equation. You're going to take away the things that you can take away, like, I don't know, the 2W, all to try to get this L by itself. If you have any further questions, ask me, ask your teacher, get some help.